My name is David Bishop. I was attached to Hotel Company 25. My testimony is going to consist of my skipper or my captain killing prisoners, 4 NVA nurses that were captured were POWs that were raped, tortured, and then completely destroyed.
My name is Joe Bangert. I'm a Philadelphia resident. I enlisted in the Marine Corps 4 years in 1967. I went to Vietnam in 1968, and my testimony will cover the slaughter of civilians, the skinning of a Vietnamese woman, the crucifixion of Vietnamese either suspects or civilians in Vietnam.
We came across 4 NVA nurses that were hiding out in one of the bunkers. We were still in the area when the Rock Marines started tying them down to the ground. They tied their hands to the ground, they spread eagled them, they raped them. They raped all 4. There was like maybe 10 or 20 Rock Marines involved. They tortured them, they sliced off their breasts, they took machetes and cut off parts of their fingers and things like this. And when that was over, they took on all 4, they took pop-up flares, which are it's aluminum canister you hit with your hand. It'll shoot maybe 100, 200 feet in the air. They stuck them up their vaginas, all 4 of them, and they blew the tops of their heads off.
I saw one case where there were 2 prisoners, and one prisoner was staked out on the ground, and he was cut open while he was alive, and part of his insides were cut out. And they told the other prisoner if he didn't tell them what they wanted to know, that they would kill him. And I don't know what he said because he spoke in Vietnamese, but then they killed him after that anyway. There was a lieutenant colonel there, and 2 people had their heads cut off and put on stakes and stuck in the middle of the field. And we were notified that there were press covering the operation and that we couldn't do that anymore. Before we went out on the operation, we were told not to waste our heat tablets on food, but to save them for the villages because we were going to destroy all the villages. And we didn't give the people any time to get out of the villages. We just went in and burned them. And if people were in the villages yelling and screaming, we didn't help them. We just burned the houses as we went. It wasn't like they were humans. Like we were conditioned to believe that, this was for the good of the nation, the good of our country, and anything we did was okay. And like when you shot someone, you didn't think you were shooting a human. They were a gook or a commie, and it was okay.
It is really 2 computers, but only one is operating the system. The other, with the same vast memory, performs as a slave, checking calculations and results, ready to take over in a matter of seconds should the master computer falter. All this is housed in one of the new headquarters of computer defense, one of the direction centers of what the Air Force calls SAGE. Beyond a fantastic capacity for calculation and memory, SAGE possesses the newest and most revolutionary advance in data processing, the display scope, a computer-generated visual display, on call as needed. Until SAGE, the miracle of the computer was its ability to calculate in split seconds and then provide printed information. But SAGE needed more than this. For the lightning shifts of air battle, the Air Force requested from IBM a computer capable of translating volumes of changing data into a continuous flow of interpretations, which could be understood at a glance. Air defense required split-second presentation as well as split-second calculation. Given this objective, IBM applied the latest extension of data processing, the display scope, a giant picture tube on which computer results are instantaneously and continuously translated into graphic images. In SAGE, airmen have the battle visualized for them on the computer-generated display. By analyzing the past, SAGE can project into the future.
We are, in effect, plugging the battlefield.
Ballerina cappuccina. Mi 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 mi. ballerina cappuccina.